Alright, so welcome back. This episode I think we're going to be looking at integrating authentication, and I think if you watched the previous video we discussed a bit on what backend and database to use and stuff like that, and I'm used to SQL databases, and Firebase is a NoSQL database. So I think I'm going to use that just because, I mean, there's more for me to learn and new stuff is cool. Especially if I figure out how to do it. So yeah, that's what we're gonna try and do today. So yeah, let's get started. I mean, the first things we gotta do is if you go to the Firebase console, we're gonna set up a new project. And I mean, I don't know if this really matters. What the difference actually is. It's probably based on some server stuff. Oh. Okay. Alright. We'll just do this then. And just so you know, I'm gonna film this video. I'm gonna make a database for it, and you can show you everything so you can see the API keys and all that stuff. But just know I'm gonna delete that database, create a new one with a new name. I'm gonna change a bit of the structure and thereby have a whole new ID and all that stuff. So if anyone was thinking, don't bother trying to access the database, because it's not gonna exist the time you see this video, because I'm gonna give it another name, and I'm gonna make sure that stuff isn't available. Okay, so let's see. What should we call our project? Let's call it, why don't we just call it oh, we could just call it let's call it that. I mean, that's the name of we're doing. So, okay, that apparently takes some time. Oh, here we go. So, this is our database. So, let's get it set up. I found the Firebase documentation. You can click here, go to it. You choose web, because we're developing for iOS and Android, but we're using JavaScript, so therefore we use the web access point. So we gotta import it first. I mean, that should be pretty star Firebase from. Okay. As you can see, I created a folder called services. It's outside of scenes, just in the app, where I created this firebase.js, and that's just where I'm gonna initialize it, so I don't have to initialize it in multiple places, and then I can export that that reference and then access it in different places. So we're gonna need this. I'll just copy it. We're not gonna use a storage bucket for now, but it could be something for later if we need. Because that's basically using the Google storage, and right now we don't need that. We just want the database, and most importantly, right now we just want the authentication, actually. But yeah, API key, the first thing. Okay, so that's our API key. So yeah, basically just gonna go in and really change all of these things out. So here it wants our project ID. This one. Assuming it's not supposed to be in those greater than or less than. So we'll do like this. And database name. I guess that's this. Database? Was that this? Or this? Huh. Huh. That's a good question, actually. I feel like it should be this, maybe. But that's... database name. Is it just this? Let's just try that then. Not found. What if we try this? Okay, that runs. So apparently it's like that. Okay, so the project ID is also your database name. So that's our configuration, and we initialize it. But I also want to export this as a constant. Let's call it Firebase ref. Because then we can, it's a reference to our Firebase, so we can access on the outside. So that should be it to set it up, I think. So we should be able to close this. Okay, so let's try and go into authentication. I guess I've done something without remembering it. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, I was working a bit on the train the other day, actually. Whoops. Yeah. So, okay. That kind of ruins the purpose of the whole thing, which is supposed to be live coding, but yeah, okay, I'll show you. If we go to authentication on the web, and we want to do password authentication. Sign in a user with email and password. I happen to know that you have to, where is it here, authentication, and you have to go into sign in methods, and you have to, well, there are no users, so okay. You have to change, like you have to enable which login methods you want in your application. So, I mean, right now, let's just enable the email and password. I've been thinking about redoing the whole authentication flow of the application and adding like Facebook login, but I have to figure out how I'm gonna like create like how I want the flow to go. So for now, I think I'm gonna stick with this, which is just passwords based and email, and then maybe redo it later or add some stuff. But so yes, if we go to the authentication, it says when a user signs into your app, pass the user's email address and password to the sign-in with the email address. Okay, so I mean, firstly we have our ooh, that's a really slow animation. Oh, no, it's not. Okay. Yeah, but typing stuff here, as you can see, we did this previously in a video. You set the state, and we have these states here that we're gonna set. So when you type, this comes into email, and when you type password, it goes into the state of password. So then basically we can pass. So if we go back and see here, it's called sign in with email and password, and it says that you pass the user's email address and password. So email, password, and then if there's any error happening, we're gonna catch that error. And right now I'm just printing them out, and obviously you gotta do something with them, but that's right now it's just about making things work, and then we can start doing more cool stuff later. So yes, and again, as we talked about previously, if you need access to anything that is defined in state in your constructor, then you need to bind that function. In the constructor. And you do this by saying this dot underscore login, or like this dot and then the name of your function. The reason I use underscore is because it's a private function. You don't need to do that. It's just, I mean, so have it whatever fits your style of coding. And then you say is equal to this dot the name of your function, and then you bind this. And then when you then want to call that function, so for example, when we click this, we want people to log in, then you just call this dot on login in your onPress function on your button. But that I think I showed you guys last time. So yeah, that's it for now. So let's reload this. Okay, I didn't change anything. Why is it so slow to load it? Couldn't find variable Firebase in Firebase JS. There we go. Should be capital because capital. Okay, back to this. So let's try and see. So let's John at doe.com, and his password is just going to be, I don't know, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, because I gotta remember it. And now we're just seeing if stuff works. So I mean, hitting login shouldn't do anything right now because you don't have an account. So if we open the remote debugging, because then we can see when we log some errors. Okay. So if I click login, whoa, Firebase app is not defined. What? Oh, there. Yeah. johndoe.com. Invalid API key. Your API, please. At least we're getting access to them. Oh, whoops. Wait, didn't we paste that in? Thought we did. Well, no wonder. Save. Okay, that should do the trick. See, okay, so this is exactly what we want. Or, yeah, for now at least it is. If you try to log in, you don't have an account right now. So we'll get this auth error saying that the user is not found. And that's the error code here. So that's pretty nice. Will you please? So obviously what we want is we want people to click create account. Which takes you here. So then if we open register, we need to import Firebase ref from, what was the path? It's easy just to take it from here, isn't it? Let's just take the whole thing. And then we need to do stuff here. So we want a register function. And it needs access to this stuff in the state. So this dot we need to bind it, as we said before. Yeah, so let's figure out what that is called. Let's sign in. No, that's not it. Oh, here, create. Okay, so this is a function. Create user with email and password. So on our Firebase ref, we're going to call the auth. And from that, we're going to call the method create user. Create user with email and password. Yeah? Yes. And it takes an email and a password. So And again, we have to, if an error occurs, we're going to catch that error. Nope, not like that. And let's just write to our console for now. As we see, we have a verify password as well. So we're going to make some logic to check whether, so let's see if this state.password is equal to this.state.verify password. Then we'll call this else. No. Otherwise, we wanna let's just log passwords did not match. So we're checking if the password written here is the same as this. If it is, then we log them in with that password. Otherwise, we just print out that it didn't match for now. Okay. So I need to click a button down there. So we go to create account. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Create account. Oh, it looks like we haven't bound it to the. Yes, you're recalling this.login, which makes no sense because there's no function called that here. So this is what we want to do. So now we have to do all of that again. Ah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I clicked it once and nothing happened because I haven't specified anything to happen. And then I clicked it again and it says it's already in use. So I got a little ahead of myself there. But if we go to authentication now, we see that we have it. So that's super cool. And then obviously we want something to happen now because as you we want people to go to the discover view. No, we want them to go to page control. So what we're going to use is we're going to import actions from React Native Router Flux. And if it, yeah, so do this and then page. How is it that goes again? I think we need to. No, we don't. Page. Let's see if this works. Actually, I think there's an keep doing that thing with the thing. I think I'm gonna put this over on the other screen until we need it, so I don't keep getting this stupid message. Oh, yes, that's it. Okay, so we need to make a new scene. If I can hit the bloody buttons, wow, this is impressive, even for me. So we give it a key to reference it, and then we give it a component that it has to go to, which is page control. So we're just registering the new scene so that we can go to it. So this should work. So if we go to create account, and now we need to make a new one, so we say Jane she will be using the same password as John, because, and there we go. Just like that. Okay, so if we reload this, now we got to see if we can log in with one of those passwords, because if we go to our console, we should now see a Jane. What? Yeah, we get user not found, which is what we should get. That's strange. Why did it take us there then? 7, create account. Okay. I don't know what happened, but okay. Well, now let's try and log in. So if we go to our login, well, obviously it's not going to do anything because we haven't specified any action to take if we are successfully logged in. So, well, we needed to go to page control as well, because, I mean, now you're authenticated. Action. I need to learn how to spell. Okay, there we go. So that's it. That's how easy authentication is with Firebase. Well, that was a pleasant breeze. So, yeah, that's actually pretty decent so far. So now we're able to authenticate users and log in with them. Obviously, we need to make all of this happen. So I think that's where we'll be. That's why I'm thinking of also doing something like a social login, like Facebook or Twitter, or I think Facebook because that's what most people use. Not everyone's on Twitter. Not everyone's on Facebook either, but I think there's a larger amount of people on Facebook. Because then we would be able to fetch things like the name and the current country and the country of birth and the year of birth. We would be able to get that information without having the user specify it. And the same with the hometown. From my hometown. And the only thing they would like or need to specify is running preferences and page and diameter from where they want to be, or like people they want to run with, like a discoverability. How far away are they discoverable? Because as it stands now, when they log in or when they create an account, they will have to do all of this stuff. They will have to write up all of this stuff, which is actually super inconvenient. And I feel like it might drop a lot of users. At least I know with myself, if I have to sign up or create an account and then sign up or sign in, and then I have to like fill out a bunch of shit, and before I can even start to use it, I mean that might drop me as well, because no one's that persistent. No one want to go through all of that just to go outside and run. So I think that's a key thing we have to redesign and rethink with this whole project, is the authentication flow. I know this is a coding video, but you know what? Let's make it a little different today, yeah? Shall we? Why don't we try and, yeah, I know, I closed it. Why don't we try and design what we want it to be like? So if we stop all of this, and make sure everything's saved here. Whoa, that's way too big. There we go. Okay. So what I'm thinking is, let's close everything we don't need. We actually don't need a terminal. We don't need Adam. Okay. So what I'm thinking is, why don't we have some fun and try to make an authentication flow that makes sense. So what I want to do is have it all on one screen. I don't want two separate screens to register and log in. If you don't have an account, it should be like if you click here and write, then you should get there. Like if you don't have an account, it creates one for you. If you do, it logs you in. And most importantly, some type of social login. So, I think I'm using 7 plus here. So let's try and do this. So we want it to be an authentication scene, yeah? So first off, let's just take some of the stuff from here so that we don't have to. And what else do we want? We probably want the icon, right? The logo. Okay. Oh, whoops. All right, so let's try and think about this. If a new user comes, so if it's the first time you download this app and you open it for the first time, this is what you're gonna see. And this is what's gonna make or break whether you stay or you leave. So if it's complicated to go through a login and authentication sign up, then you'll probably leave. So I actually think, again, because this is something I thought about again as well the other day. So I downloaded the logo that we're like from, in case you want to know where that is. If you go to Design Facebook, actually I don't think that's a URL. It's facebook.design. Okay, so if you go here to this website, you'll find all the design related Facebook has done. That's open sourced. So if you go to tools and resources, you'll have wait a second. Um, wait, what? I'm pretty sure. Okay, good thing I tried to show you, for you at least, because apparently I can't find it anymore. Oh, there we go. Okay, so this is the side you have to go to. Facebook brand. You can then view the guidelines or you can explore the assets. If you explore the assets, you can see the guidelines for each one as well. But yeah, so what we want is, like, you can see they have all of this stuff here. That they even have some templates. But what we want, we just want the logo. We don't want the like button. We don't want that stuff. We just want the logo, so we can put it there, so we can show that it's Facebook. Follow the general do's and don'ts. Well, yeah. Do only use their logo to refer to presence on Facebook. So that's good. That's what we have. So that's cool. We fill that one. Tick. Do include a clear written call to action in the communications for Facebook, for example, like us. Okay, so we're going to say sign in, of course, or log in, or continue with, or. So the next thing we're going to look at is, do use the version of the logo that comes with the blue box on the white. Okay, so if the blue box is on white, or you use the black on, or the white on the black. So, all right. I mean, our plan is to use it on a white background anyway, because our API is white, so we don't have to think too much about that. Don't animate or fabricate this. Yeah, nope. Don't make it the most distinctive or prominent feature that you're creating. Don't modify the logo in any way. Yeah, we're not gonna. Okay, so this is where you go to get all your assets. I also went to get the messenger because, as we talked about in a previous video, we're probably going to use that to have people message each other, so that I don't have to, or so that we don't have to make that, because a lot of things can go wrong, and no, I'm not interested in that. So and we don't really care if people like sit and write each other messages. That's not what they should. They should just get on with it and go play in the outside world and have fun. Speaking of, the weather's actually gorgeous today, so I should probably take that advice. Instead, I've been stuck inside studying for exams all day, so that's a jolly good time. Oh yeah, I just lost where I was. In my so exactly. Oh, okay. There's more stuff here. Oh, sorry. Let's look at that. Okay, so the size. Be sure reproduced in a legible size. Partner logos. Okay. Maintaining shape and proportions. Yeah, of course we're gonna do that. To preserve the integrity of the F logo, always maintain a clear space around the logo. This clear space insulates? Okay, that is what it means. Okay. Okay. I mean, I don't know what a half is, but pixel, maybe? No, that doesn't make sense. That's like nothing. Color. Don't modify colors. Okay. So, I mean, if you think about it, it's pretty logical what they're talking about. So this is just different quality sizes. Huge. That's big. 1024. Okay. So let's make that a little bit bigger here, or smaller. Not bigger. God, it was big enough already. So we have our icon. Now we want to say something like continue with Facebook, or sign in with Facebook, or log in with Facebook, or I don't know. Are there any guidelines to what you're allowed to say with it? Did it say anything about that? I don't think it did. No. What I'm thinking is we'll say continue with Facebook, because if you have an account, you log in. But if you don't have an account, we sign you up and log you in. So no matter what, and we don't want two different buttons. We want one button to do it all. So I think saying continue with Facebook makes more sense, because it can apply to both cases. So if you come as a new user and you only see login with Facebook, you're like, well, I don't have an account. How do I create an account? If you come as an already registered user and you see login or register with Facebook, you're probably wondering, well, where do I log in then? But if it's continue, well, then it should give you a clear indication no matter where you are, like in the authentication process. I wonder if we have to use the same color. Does anyone know? I'm wondering if we should, or if we're even allowed to. It might be like a trade secret color, or like this is our color, don't you dare take it. So let's say continue with Facebook. Should be a capital W there. Huh. I definitely didn't spell continue. Continue. There. That is correct now, right? Yes. Okay. Font might be a little big. The question is, do we want any other authentication? Do we want people to still sign up with their email and password? Or do we just want Facebook? Do we want, like, what was the other? Twitter, GitHub, Google. Considering what audience I'm trying to hit, I don't think GitHub is worth putting in there. Twitter might be, and Google might be. But I actually almost feel like I want to disable email and password, because it's going to be so much easier for me if we can implement Facebook or Twitter, something like that, and just fetch that information. Let's see what Twitter has of information. Okay, so it has your name. How do I see my profile? View profile. I don't use this. Okay, so it shows country, and it shows, well, this is my current country, yeah. But it doesn't show the city, which we're gonna need, because we're gonna need to say something about, like, if people are in this area, then so, oh, that's my old website. Need to change that. Okay, so they have the name, but couldn't you technically call yourself something else here? Yeah, because then you would be able to sign up with, like, a page too, right? And see, that isn't a name. First, this was a perfect example. This is what I wanted to find. It might be a name, but it's not formatted as a name, and I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, is this Spanish or something? Or yeah, I don't know. So I think Twitter's out of the picture as well, because it just adds more work. Really. And I don't know. I don't know if I want that. This seems way too big. Let's give it 30. See what. Yeah, that might actually be better. Um, 20. I think that's. I think that's better. So I think we forget about Twitter. GitHub, I don't think makes sense. Okay, Google. Thing is, like, how do you go to, like, don't they have the Google that thing? Wow, I haven't used this for like years. How does this work? Profile. Oh, that's where it was. About? Control what people see about you. I'm probably gonna have to redact that email. All of these are like old sites. I don't live there anymore. I moved like twice since then. This is like where I lived 5 years ago or something like that. I'm thinking, does anyone use this? Because if I were to log in with Google and it would take this information, it would be totally wrong. Flip. And I would actually make that mistake because I didn't know. Like, I haven't been here. I'm probably going to keep that open so I can change that stuff later. I think Facebook is really the only thing that makes sense for us. Okay. Wait, isn't it there? Oh, here it is. Add a new app. That's interesting. Because I wanted to use Messenger. But I don't think it's an app for Messenger. It's like entertainment. I'm gonna, again, the same with the database. I'm gonna change all of this so you don't have the. Wow, I can actually not see what that says. R6 U W W U U. That's probably wrong. Or not. Hello? Facebook? Please? There we go. This looked different from when I used it for my previous project. It looks a lot different. Shit. Oh, wow. Whoa. Okay. Facebook login. Well, let's go to the dashboard. Ah, thank God, that looks a bit more like it. Where's the, maybe on the settings? Yeah. No, what? Oh, advanced. There we go, that's what I wanted. Add account. Oh, yeah, that's it. There we go, that one. Native or desktop app, enable if your app is in it. I mean, it isn't. Well, that's the thing about Wait, stay on this page. Where do I save? I don't see a save anywhere. I'm gonna have to save changes. What? Invalid IP format. Oh, IP address. Where do I add that then? Like, there was a place before where you can add OAuth handle. Where do I add that? App domains? Shit. App review. Roles. Let's try this. No? Must match the domain of secure canvas URL. Please select these. Let me. This is the problem when you come back and use something that you haven't done for like, or that you did on a totally different platform. Okay, but let's try and, well, it needs the app ID. That's this. And it needs the app secret, which is here. Shit, what's my password again? Okay, that was it. To complete setup, add this OAuth redirect URL to Facebook. I want to learn more because I don't know where the hell it is. Facebook login? Exactly. There used to be this thing. Oh. Product settings, Facebook login. Product? Facebook login. Oh, so you had to add them like that? Like with this? Huh, you didn't have to do that before. Oh, nope. Login from devices. Not right now. Okay, I probably have to save that stuff as well. There we go. Nice, that worked. Saved. Okay, so let's try and okay, so we can take a look at this and start doing it next time because I think the video is pulling a bit long now. but we make a new provider and we can specify a scope, which is, oh, okay, so we can specify the different things that we want to fetch in the scope. That's kind of, well, that's really easy. So we want the place of birth, the current place they're living, and their city, their name, and their date of birth. That's it. That's all we want. Okay, so we specify how it works. That seems super simple and super lovely to do. So I think if we got the design right, I think next time let's put that in and make another authentication day where we make Facebook login work. And then I think it's time to start doing something with the whole static part over here. I think also another thing, now that we are able to populate our database with some users, we can start creating this and pull in users from the database to a list view. But now I think I'm thinking there should definitely be some. Let's make it white. Whoa, come back. Border. Something like that. But again, I'm still questioning if I want an email sign up. Because if we put an email sign up, we also have to create some. I mean, we have to make a settings thing anyway, because people would have to specify a preference for whether they like trails or roads and their average time. So actually what we might think of doing, that's a pretty, I just had a good idea. I think maybe it's a good idea, maybe it's a bad idea, but right now I like the idea of doing some kind of onboarding. So when you click continue and you get created an account and signed in, we can make like some sort of little onboarding type thing where we say like let's just do I'm gonna have to move you boys up here or myself up there because I need this. I should really be consistent with this stuff though. What did we do in this one? We did two blind. Yeah. Oh, wrong button. What do we need? 3? So this should be like a text edit thing. So this would be the, should I make a slider? Instead of, it shouldn't be text edits. Actually, let's stop doing that. Because actually what I want is we want this like a picker, a modal picker thing. Wait, they don't have that here? Really? You have this, but you don't have like the rotating picker thingamajig. Wow, okay. What does that look like again? I'm gonna have to use my phone here. We can see that in the calendar, right? If we click. Yes, so that is probably what we want. So actually we could still do that with this. So say select radius. Oh, how do we say this shortly? Select like we want to. It's the distance that they're willing to. Like travel to run with someone, or like how far away from their location, location do they want to be discoverable? Let's just say select radius right now. That's gonna change because that's horrible. And then when you click it, it opens this selector, and it's basically like just kilometers down. You just scroll through, and if you want to be discoverable 100 kilometers away, then I mean, then you're really a good person, or you're just really desperate to find someone to run with. So we would need the radius, and we would need the preference, and their pace. So pace we can also do with one of those pickers, and we could with the preference too. Except people should be allowed to pick both if they don't have a preference. Oh, we could still do that. So we can say roads, trails, or no preference, and then both will show up. So I think maybe all of that depends on how easy that stuff is to do in React Native. I don't know what the thing is called. Date picker iOS. Selector. Slider. Snapshot status bar. Segmented control. I don't know what that is. iOS selector React Native picker. You need to be more consistent with what you call things here, right? Renders a native picker component. Oh man, okay, that's super easy. Okay, so I think that's a wrap for this one. And I think we agree that yeah, I'm gonna have to think further over whether or not I want to do email as well. But I think it's good if we have like continue and you have. The thing is, I think if we do email, we'll have to do name and email. Well, email we get, but we'll have to get on. I'm pointing at it. Like you can see. On this one, we would have to do name, date of birth. What else? Current city, place of birth. We would have to do all of them. So we would have to add like 5-6 extra pickers. And that I think is too much. I think people will fall off. So I think reconsidering, thinking about it, I think it's, wow, I think a lot. It makes more sense to continue with Facebook only. I don't know if that's bad practice. (2014), oh, that's outdated. Connect with Facebook. Yeah, confusion. Well, it's 2014. That's like 3 years ago. I'll have to look further into that. But I think that's going to conclude it for now. I have more exams to study for. I wish I didn't, but also I don't think I'm gonna make videos that are like 5 hours long. So let's just try and keep them shorter, and then hopefully you guys want to tune in next time. If not, it's totally okay. I realized this was a pretty boring episode. I mean, you got to see a little bit different stuff than just coding, so I hope you're all right with it. But